Measuring spread. So the commonly used statistics that indicate the spread of a dataset are the range, the interquartile range, and the standard deviation. So the range is the maximum value minus the minimum value, which you should have done before. The interquartile range you also should have done last year. But if not, it is the range of the middle 50% of the data, which is quartile 3 minus quartile 1. Now, quartile 3 is called the upper quartile as well, so sometimes Q3 upper quartile, and it's a value 75% of the way through the data set. Then you've got Q1, which is the lower quartile or quartile 1, and that is a value 25% of the way through the data set. Now, with these following data sets, I want you to find the range, the median, quartile 1 and quartile 3, and the interquartile range. So with this example, what I'm going to do is we're going to do question 1 by hand, then we'll do number 2 with your calculator. So for 1 and A, we want the range. So the range is always the biggest number minus the smallest number. So the biggest number that is 9 and the smallest number is 3, which means the range will be 6. Now to find the median, we need to put them in order from smallest to largest. We'll get this. And now for the median, we want to find the middle point. So we count up how many data points we've got, which is 19. So we'll work out the position. So it'll be 19 plus 1 divided by 2, which means we are looking for the 10th number. So just count along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we'll find that the median is 6. C, quartile 3 and quartile 1. Now when we're working out quartiles, once we've got our median, for quartile 1, we look at all the numbers below the median. So we don't include the median. We look at all the numbers below, and we actually then find the middle of these. And you'll find the middle of these is 5. So quartile 1 equals 5, and then quartile 3, we do the same with all the values above the median. So look at all the numbers above the median, find the middle, and you'll see it is 7. So quartile 1 is 5, quartile 3 is 7, and then your interquartile range is quartile 3 minus quartile 1, which will be 7 minus 5, which is 2. Okay, so that's how you do it by hand, but you can also do most of this on your calculator. We can find our values on a calculator, and then the range and the interquartile range, we just need to do that ourselves. So what I want you to do now is grab your calculators out, and I'll talk you through it on there. So with the second lot of data on your calculator, input it into your spreadsheet. I've already done it here just to save some time. And you should have 20 values. Now we just go and do our statistics like we have done previously. So menu, number 4 for statistics, number 1 for stat calculations, and then number 1 for one variable. We only have one list, so just click OK there. Double check that it's looking for column A, click OK. Now once again, it has our mean here, and which we're not asked for this time. But if you scroll down, what you'll actually see is it gives us our minimum value, our quartile 1, our median, our quartile 3, and our maximum. All the things that we need to be able to find the range and interquartile range. So if you can put your stats into your calculator, do your calculations, and it gives you all those for you without having to do it by hand, which is nice and easy. So now we have those values, we can go back and put them into our formulas. And so from the values we just found in your calculator, you can use them to answer these questions. So the range is the maximum minus the minimum, which would be 9 minus 2, which equals 7. Median, straight off your calculator, is 5.5. Quartile 1 is 4.5. Quartile 3 is 7.5. And remember, the interquartile range is quartile 3 minus quartile 1. So 7.5 minus 4.5, which equals 3. So see, it's a lot quicker on your calculator if you're allowed to use it. And then from here, we can go on to box plots. So box and whisker plots is a visual display of a data set. So to create a box and whisker plot, we need something that's called the 5-number summary, which is our minimum, quartile 1, median, quartile 3, and maximum. So all the numbers we've just been able to find on our calculators. And we just need those 5 numbers to create a box plot. So in this example, we've got the data set there, and we want to find our 5-number summary, draw the box and whisker plot, find the range, interquartile range. So the first thing I would like you to do is on your calculators, find your 5-number summary for me. I'm not going to show you how to do that because it's just the same steps as we just did, but go and do that. And if you do, you will find that the minimum equals 1, quartile 1 equals 3.5, the median, or quartile 2, which it can also be called, equals 5, quartile 3 equals 6, and the maximum equals 11. Now to draw a box and whisker plot, what we need an axis, which is like a number line. And it has to be to scale. We can't skip numbers, it has to be to scale. So I'm just going to go up in 1, so we have 0, 1, 2. Now when we draw a box plot, I find the easiest way is to plot my 5 numbers. So we've got minimum at 1, quartile 1 is at 3.5, the median's at 5, quartile 3 is at 6, and the maximum's at 11. Okay, so once I've plotted those points, I'm going to draw a vertical line at each of the points. The middle 3 lines we draw to make the box, and the whiskers are the endpoints joined to the box with a line. And there's your box and whisker plot. So part C wants us to find the range and interquartile range. So remember, the range is the maximum minus the minimum. So 11 minus 1, which is 10. And then the interquartile range is quartile 3, which is 6, minus quartile 1, which is 3.5, which will give us 2.5. Now part D we're not actually going to do because we're going to look at that later on. You'll look at that more next year. But the main ideas with this come that when we have our full lot of data, it's actually 25% of our data is between the minimum and quartile 1. 25% is above quartile 3, and the box represents 50%. 25% either side of the median. So that comes on a bit later, and we'll look at that more next year.